Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And some space here. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. He completes it to Bryant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Raider 2.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Lets it go for Nelson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. To throw his car. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
On third and long, it's Carr. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Focus.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Hurry up, let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tahir Whitehead. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep down the field. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Carr dancing to his left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Carr going to throw, and he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Focus.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
These 2. Let's go.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendencies.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Down. 185.
Carr now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And complete right side to Cook. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Boswell for the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Shazier in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Monday, down. Blue 80. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 right. Purdue. You ain't going nowhere.
Carr. Flushed out right. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Get down, get down. 180.
To throw, it's Carr. They dump it off to Lynch. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Roethlisberger going to hand the bell. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Harris now to return. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Steps away to his left. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
They're throwing it on first down, but no one was open, so he gets flushed out of the pocket, runs towards the sidelines, gets out of bounds with a good gain and a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Carr now on first down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. On first, here's Washington. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Get set. 185.
From the gun, it's Carr. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And now running right through it. And he's out right at the 25. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Complete to Washington. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, Lynch. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. Cooper was the intended target.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. The give is to Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Caught here by Bell. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell is a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017.
Let's go. Take both of them.
First carry for James Conner. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A give to Bell. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Roethlisberger. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Back now in the East Bay. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down. It's Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Boswell on now to kick this one away. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Out left side here to Bryant. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Martavis Bryant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this. 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now Bell. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last
true.
time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Being chased out left. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Check 26, check 26. 734. White Monday. Express.
Throwing his car on third down. It's caught. Nelson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And Bryant's got it over the middle. A good pick up there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Get down, get down. White 85.
On first down, Carr. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for third down. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Buying time to his left. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye.
Hey, Raider 2.
They'll run for it. Lynch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. 4th and goal, Charles, all the time you see those offenses, especially the quarterback, the running back, looking over the sideline saying, don't send the kicker out. There they did it, and it paid off.
It's really nice to see what they wanted actually done. And how about the coaches getting their faith rewarded by a touchdown?
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First target, first catch, and a first down. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the Raiders have got him. Bruce Irvin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Here's Roethlisberger. Forced out to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think we just saw an example of a game situation that I know is discussed, practiced to the nth degree, go right out the window, and a chance to win the game as well.
Yeah, protect the football. On the other side, you're taught to get in there and rake it out. They did just that.
I mean, they go over this starting in OTAs and mini camps. You go through these situations, and that's the way a lot of teams like to end practice. Finish it off with this type of a drive, kick the game-winning field goal. Everyone feels good and heads to the locker room. In this case, though, they're not going to feel so great about it. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
On the draw, Carr leads to Washington, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They had to get it away from their end zone somewhat, but still a long way to go.
Had to start somewhere. That's probably the best outcome possible.
To throw is Carr. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Get set. You ready? Retrieve.
Carr to throw. They'll roll him out right. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Carr. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Switzer now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And with a lot of
he's got a man complete and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Let's go.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punch that thing in and end it. Now we're going the other way.
And it's real easy to just look at them and say, boy, what an error, what a mistake you made. But how about the defense coming up huge? Let's give them a little bit of credit, keeping their team in the game, because if they score a touchdown there, it's game over.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Monday, down. Blue 80. Deuce right.
First throw of overtime for Carr. Going deep here for Bryant. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously cannot have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot in what we call...
And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Raiders, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.